Morning everyone, welcome back to another video. It is currently 3:35 in the morning. We are gonna get milking going here, and then after we're done milking, I gotta feed cows. That's what I'm doing this morning, and then this evening, I think we're gonna hop on a baler and bale some barley straw. So there's a bunch on the ground, probably 180 acres or so of straw on the ground that needs to be baled. So quite a bit of baling to do this afternoon, but milk cows, feed cows, and then we will do that later on in the day. Gonna start out here. We got about 360 cows to milk today. It should take us about 3.5 hours or so, and then we'll be out of here feeding cows. First thing we're gonna do is take these milkers off of the wash trays. There was already a pre-milking sanitize that ran through all the milk claws. Just giving them a quick little rinse before we get started here. Finished milking cows. We're gonna go feed now. Grab the feed wagon and the loader from the shop. Last ingredient for our milk cow load is water. The reason why we add water is it keeps the feed wet, and that prevents the cows from sorting through all the grain if cows are able to sort through, they will. They'll try and get all that good tasting grain. They'll leave the silage for last, and that's really bad for cows. They gotta have a balanced diet going into their rumen, otherwise they'll get thrown off of the milk. So we're gonna finish filling this wagon. We gotta get 12,200 kilos in here, and that is the first load of 5 we're gonna be doing this morning. That's 2 milk cow loads and 3 loads for the corrals. And we're gonna go into the freestyle barn here and clean up the rejects. So this is what's left of the feed. The west side of the barn finished their feed. The east side of the barn did not. So we're gonna scoop this up, and then we are going to feed it to our steers. We just wanna make sure that the milk cows have 100% fresh feed every single day. The reason for this is because if cows eat more, specifically milking cows, they're going to produce more milk. And that's good for us. So try to keep it as fresh as possible in front of the milk cows. So that alley's scooped clean. There's a little bit left here, but that's what I could fit in the bucket, so it'll be good. She knows the feed is going to be dumped here first on this side, so she's just waiting. Grab those rejects with the New Holland loader, just straight into the bucket. We'll drive it to the feed wagon. But first we're gonna drive through the corrals, see what cows, what pens finish their feed, if anybody needs more feed or less feed than they got yesterday. So we'll just drive through the feed lot, check the feed bunks. If there's a lot of feed left in them, we'll feed them a little bit less. If they're cleaned completely out, feed them a little bit more. And if it just looks right, we'll feed them the same. Keep it nice and simple. So we're all done. It's 10:50 in the morning, so milking cows and then feeding cows after 7 hours 20 minutes. Not bad. It's pretty good on time, I guess. And yeah, we're gonna go home, have some lunch, maybe a quick nap, and then we'll head out to the field. Both balers are already in the field there where the straw is, so we'll head out there this afternoon and get that baled. Also, we're gonna try the canola today. They finished up that barley yesterday, so combine is in front of the shop there. Brent is servicing it, getting it ready to go for canola. There's a few things you got to change on there to get it ready for that. And yeah, looking forward to that, see how it's busheling out. And everyone's kind of curious, so see how that goes. Okay, it's the afternoon now. We hopped in the baler and we're baling the last field of barley straw. So this is the 6th quarter that we're baling. Let's see here, the first 2 quarters of fall ride that ended up doing about 1,750 bales, which is nuts. The next 2 quarters we baled were those pea straw bales, and there's 711 of those. And it looks like we're going to get about 1,000 barley bales, maybe 800 to 1,000. That leaves us then with the canola straw. We're probably gonna get like 2,500 to 3,000 canola straw bales, which is crazy. And that, I think that puts us in the range of 5,000 to 6,000 bales for this year, which is nuts. That's gonna be enough straw for 2 years for the dairy, which seems a little bit unnecessary, but same idea as the silage. If we have a drought year next year, at least we have some buffer, and then we're not right away in the situation that we were in the last couple of years where we're desperately trying to get enough bales in those drought years. It's better to have it on the yard ready to go, and then you can just take it easy during a drought year. You know, hopefully you don't get multiple drought years back to back like we just did, but that's usually not the case. I was talking to Dad this morning. We are back in the drought right now where we are. This spring we got 12 inches of rain. It just quit raining in July. August we had almost zero rain. We had one shot, and it's back to drought. You know, you have to go and dig pretty deep to find moisture in the fields right now. So what's here is here. We're gonna need rain again next year to grow another crop. So that's how it works. Anyway, baling's going good. Making some pretty good progress. The case baler is over there, and my buddy Nick is running that for us this afternoon. Nice weekend job. Yeah, we should get this field done by tomorrow, I think. Brent and Doug started combining that canola. I think we'll check that out when we finish up here today. It's not yielding as good as we had hoped, but still, compared to previous years, it's doing pretty good. So anyway, we'll get the drone up in the air, show some baling. Unless something goes wrong, that's all you guys will see of the baling this afternoon. Just took a little break from baling. Wanted to check out the start of the canola combining here, and it seems to be going pretty good. It's doing around that 40 bushels, which is kind of what we expected now. Earlier on this year, we were hoping to hit that 50 to 60 range, but that rain shutting off, that really hurt the canola. So it just needed another shot right when it was filling these top pods, and it just never came. So these top pods, they do have seed in there. It's just really light, and it doesn't amount to much in the hopper of the combine. So that's a bunch of really small canola seed. If we go for a pod a little bit lower, kernels are a little bit bigger in those lower pods, but still nothing to what it could be. So that's just the way it went. This crop, it's super dry. It's definitely ready to be combined right now. That being said, there is the odd green stalk. You can see one right here. So that's still wet. So we can't come in with the baler right away and bale the straw. We're gonna have to let it sit for a minute, dry out a couple days, and then we can come and bale. But yeah, still far exceeds anything we've grown in the last 3 or 4 years. So we're stoked about that. I've been watching some other Saskatchewan farming YouTubers. Mike Mitchell, of course, is one of them. There's this other Dustin guy, and both of them kind of had the similar scenario happen as what we did here, where we got a lot in the beginning of the year, and then the rain kind of just shut off, and it got hot and it got windy, and that just sucks the life out of the crops. So this stand easily could have produced 60 bushels, but just didn't fill all these little heads. Combine seems to still be filling that hopper super quick. Just flying the drone over top of it, it's oozing out of that auger that's filling the hopper on the combine. So pretty cool to see. And we will be filling bins because we got 600 acres of this canola, 610. This is a full section of land that we grew it on. There's just a bunch of tree lines in it, and there's a yard site on the far side there. So that takes about 30 acres out of this section. Quite a bit of straw here. I don't know if we're gonna get 2,500 bales off of this section. Looking at these swaths, canola straw is making bales really quick though, so we'll have to find out. Oh yeah, if you come along the tree line here, these stems are all still super green, but the top of the plants where the grain is, you can see it's completely bone dry. But yeah, these stems are still 100% alive. We didn't desiccate this, so probably has to do with it. Anyway, barley did around 80 bushels, I believe. Peas were around 45. I don't know if I mentioned that yet. So those are rough numbers. Don't quote me on that. I think I'll make a end of harvest review video, kind of going over everything that we got here. I think that'll be interesting for the casual viewer, but also farmers around Saskatchewan and the rest of the world to kind of get an idea what we grew out here in this type of a season. So thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed, be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons down below. It helps the channel out a lot, and I hope to see you guys in the next video.